Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Kingdom of Dreams podcast, The Making of Stories. I'm your host, Jawad Mir. Today, my guest is Jerome Eltabet. He's a film editor. He worked on the most recent film that came out, that premiered at Cannes, that premiered at TIFF, and has taken the awards by storm. It stars Demi Moore, it stars Dennis Quaid, and it's called The Substance. Jerome and I talked about the film, its style, its aesthetics, but obviously the editing side of things. But the film itself, which is very, very unique and kind of reminded me of the films from the 90s, 80s, and the 70s. If you guys would like to make a suggestion for a film, for a guest, or anything else that you want to have covered, including a book, an author, anything from the creative standpoint, please leave it in the comment below. And without further ado, here's my conversation with Jerome Eltabet, the film editor of Substance. Good to have you, Jerome, today on the podcast to discuss the film that you worked on, The Substance.
Yep.
I had the pleasure of watching Substance 2 days ago, and I had heard about it. I had seen some very quick clips with Demi Moore's character looking in the mirror. I hadn't seen a trailer, which is normally I do. So I just knew it was something about, like anti-aging, and that's it.
Yep.
And I really, everything about the film was very well done. Specifically, obviously cinematography, production design, editing, sound design, music. Um, but for me, what I loved and it hooked me on immediately was the opening shot. I mean, that was just you could literally end the film right there at the end of that shot. And
The
it's a
end, you mean? Which one?
sorry?
You you mean, okay, okay. Yeah, let's go on.
I
Yeah,
I
sorry, sorry.
I I I mean the Hall of Fame. Like
Okay, the
how
Walk of Fame. Yeah,
yeah, Walk of Fame, sorry,
yeah,
not Hall of Fame. I
yeah,
don't know why I said that.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
And and I just thought it was so well
yeah.
encapsulated how someone goes up in their career and then it comes down just by focusing on that. So bravo, well done.
That was kind of a difficult sequence to edit as well. One of those one which took us lots of time to get the point where we wanted to go to go where we wanted to be. But happy about that you did enjoy it. Yeah, sorry.
Well, tell me, before we
Mm.
get on to the
Yeah.
substance, I would love to know, I'm always fascinated and interested in people's journey as to where they are and how they got to where they are. So just tell me about like the beginnings of your, interest in filmmaking, in cinematography and
So
all that.
yeah, I did started by cinema school, like after I became bachelor, and I started to work as an assistant director for quite few years, like maybe five or something. I was like second assistant or something like this, someone first, or so sometime. And I was working with a kind of great director, Alain Franchet, an old uh, advertising director, and who had an Oscar, I think, in the past, and had a brilliant career. And but after a little while, he didn't have any more job, any more work for me. So one friend of mine, who was an editor, asked me if I wanted to take his place as an assistant. So, bon, in a way, I didn't have too much choice because I needed to have work and to get money. So I went there, and at the beginning, I was not happy at all. For maybe 6 months or even more, I was missing so much, the filming process and to meet lots of people and to be so I had to be on my own in front of a computer and things like this. But anyway, little by little, I start to enjoy this work as an editor. And a few years after, I met Coralie Fargeat. She was a director on a little series, and she was also one of the actors. It was a kid series, and she was interested into editing, so I kind of teach her a little bit. And after we went on, I've been working together on some different projects and on the Revenge. and on both her feature movie.
Amazing. And how did you land onto actually before I do that,
Yeah.
was there a specific movie that you saw as a young man, as a kid that spoke to you and sort of pushed you in that direction or inspired you?
I have to say, like my father was a big fan of cinema, and he used to bring me when I was very young to in theater. And I remember the first Star Wars. I don't know, Frantic from Polanski. I don't know, some movie from when I was. But the main one I remember, it was at the Grand Rex in Paris. So it's a big theater, a famous one. And there was a kind of festival, horror festival. And in the same night, I do remember that we saw Blue Velvet from David Lynch and Reanimator from I forgot the name of the director, but a great one. So two amazing movie, like and also the atmosphere was so nice. You know, people shouting, and I don't know. We got a kind of the same atmosphere when we were at Cannes for the premiere of The Substance, like people going out of the didn't like at all or love it. Or this kind of it looks a little bit like a rock and roll concert or this kind of thing. It's I don't know, but
Yeah.
so this experience, like yeah, after in a way, I saw the relation between the audience and the movie. It was I don't know, and but maybe the movie I was the most impressed maybe was The Shining. And I do remember that my parents were not together anymore. I don't know. And my mother was with a friend. I don't know. And they were watching this on the TV. And me, I was in the stair, I hidden and watching it, from far away. Was not supposed to and not allowed to watch it. And I don't know, this moment of you are kind of scared and at the same time very excited. And so I do remember those moments that were strong for me. Yeah.
It's so interesting you talked about The Shining. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to reveal about
Yeah.
anything about the substance, but
Mm,
there is a part towards the last act of the film that when I was watching it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about,
yeah.
I felt reminded of The Shining.
Yeah.
It
Well,
it's
it's
the editing,
like
the production design,
yeah,
everything.
yeah. There is lots all this long corridor, and so there is lots of things that. But for example, there is some movies like Coralie told me, those one are reference or like Requiem for a Dream, for example,
Yes,
or
yes.
Black Swan, or I don't, or the Thing, but maybe more The Fly from Cronenberg and those. But The Shining, she didn't talk about it. But when the movie was over, it was so obvious, like some shot really looked the same, and I think for her, yeah, maybe a little bit like me, she was so impressed by all those 70s, 80s movie. And it's, I don't know how to say in English, an homage. I don't know. Uh, but I think it's like, it's so obvious that she doesn't want to hide it. She wants to, uh, it's her way to say, I love this movie. And what is nice about this, I think the young generation, the young people, when maybe they don't know those old movies, The Shining, or I don't know, but like we speak about it, and on TikTok they see some on different social media, and maybe after they say, "Oh, I want to see The Shining, I want to see this movie because of that reason." So maybe it's a nice thing.
Yeah, and again, I actually thought of Requiem for a Dream, like the whole thing about injecting and cutting,
Yeah,
between it had that vibe to it,
yeah,
and the sound design was impeccable. It was amazing. I think sound design really made the
yeah,
film. Also the music, of course. Um,
yeah, sure.
what were Was there a specific sequence that you guys had a trouble because it's a very tight film, right? It's like very focused on what Dennis Quaid, who is amazing,
Yeah.
He's like the probably the best character in the film in my view. And Demi Moore and her younger
And
version.
it was not supposed to be Denis Quaid. At the
Oh,
beginning, yeah, it was supposed to be Ray Liotta. He died just
really?
before. Yeah, and he died. So after we had Denis Scott, which was a very good choice as well. But I wonder if it would have been Ray Liotta. I think the movie would have been a bit more darker and a bit more, I don't know. It would have played a different kind of producer and character, maybe.
But it's interesting you mentioned Ray Liotta
Yeah,
because I've never seen Dennis Quaid perform like that, right?
yeah.
But Ray Liotta has done performances like that. So I wonder if the character was written with Ray Liotta in mind, and Dennis Quaid just, obviously made it his own, but at the same time,
Maybe get this. I don't know, but I wonder if Denis Quaid went more in kind of a comedy and things like this. I mean, a bit really over the top, and
yeah.
it becomes a bit funny. But I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, his I even like I'm trying to get to talk to the production designers, the DP because of cinematography and those
yeah, it's amazing.
wide frame, like wide angle
Yeah,
lens, but like really close, like it really
yeah,
adds so much to the character.
yeah. That's
Um,
true.
what was one of the most
I mean,
challenging, sorry, go on.
sequence. I know you asked me before what was the most challenging sequence. Oh, no, that was the
Yes.
question. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Uh, I would say that lots of sequences were very challenging. As you said, for example, the Walk of Fame was not easy to cut because at the beginning, Coralie wanted to that there is no cut at all in this sequence, and now we managed to have the I don't know maybe the name of Demi Moore and some black title, so it helps to shorten the thing. But at the beginning, she wanted to. There is nothing so it's just the born of the Walk of Fame, the born of her star. So the guy builds the star, and so and it's all this thing. And after she became a star, and after, as you said, she goes down and everything. But this the length of this was 5 6 minutes or something like that. It was very
Yeah.
difficult to make it shorter. So we had lots of issue about this kind of thing because she has been shooting a lot, like for 6 months, about more than 300 hours, amounting to more than 300 hours. So lots of the rough cut was about 4 hours, and there was like 220 sequences. Even the script was very long. So and she wanted to keep everything. So we had to find a way to make it more tight and to keep more or less everything. But I would say maybe the most difficult one was when Monstro is in the theater and they speak. So I don't want to say too much
Yeah.
if people didn't see the movie. But
Yep.
this one was 1 week of filming and like a 4 camera and even the Monstro sometimes didn't work very good, with the prosthetic. And well, now it looks perfect, but we had to choose the best shot because some of them were not looking not that great, and it was not exactly written like this in the script. It was so all this thing was a bit of kind of a big mess we have to put in place and try to order. And even now, it's but the good thing is she wanted something like this strong and rock and roll and. But for me, it's not my favorite sequence. For me, my favorite one is when Elizabeth put on makeup, tries to go to her date, and at the beginning she's kind of very happy about it and excited, and each time she tried to go out, she sees Sue's poster and the perfect body, and after so I mean, you see, the sequence I'm talking about.
Yep.
But
Yep.
this one I did was not easy to edit as well because it was we have to find the perfect rhythm and everything. But for me, that's like this sequence was very moving, even before she's in the bathroom, try to give a call to the guy, and so I did enjoy this sequence for me. Did like it.
Yeah, and that's the gist of that whole sequence that you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
That's that sequence itself. Let's put the movie aside, which is
yeah, yeah,
great, by the way. It reflects today's society in such a
mm,
clear way because I mean you look at social and forget even about like anti-aging, right? Like just in
yeah,
general, people look at other people's social media accounts and they're
mm,
like, well, he or she has this, I need to, you know what I mean? Like that whole thing.
yeah,
And it was so it was just done so beautifully and obviously creatively with different, angles of approaching it
yeah,
that you could relate to it. And also prosthetics. I thought if the prosthetics or CGI,
yeah,
it wouldn't have worked. I just thought the prosthetics really,
yeah.
really made the film as it is.
Yeah, this has had a big value, and also Elizabeth's apartment supposed to be located in LA. It's not green screen. It's not LED. They use a very old technique, like they projected a big picture of LA, 30 meters from on 20, like sorry, with a big distance, and it works very good. But every effect, there is not at all CGI, no CGI, no. But that's because she loves Carpenter's movie, she loves all Cronenberg, all those old movie, and
Yeah.
so she wanted to keep in this style, and it has to be. And as an editor, it's much more convenient to work like this because when you work with green screen and all these things, it's very
Yeah.
hard to find the thing. And I guess for the actress, it was better as well.
It's a the fact that you mentioned about the LA being a
Mm.
picture,
Yeah,
right? So it didn't even I don't even think it was a picture. I don't
yeah,
even think it was an LED
yeah,
or sorry,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, green
because
screen. Yeah,
because
don't.
because what the focus was
Yeah,
Sue's poster. So
yeah,
every
yeah,
time you look out the window, the audience, the only thing they see
yeah,
prominently is the poster, and everything else is kind of blurred out, right?
yeah. It's
So
true.
even if the poster wasn't there, people would probably doubt it. So the attention was,
At the beginning, it's not there. At the beginning of the movie, so it's just her by herself,
yeah, yeah,
and also it's also the outside are filmed in south of France in Cannes or Nice, and so it's like everything is kind of a fantasy about Los Angeles and all these things. So that's a
yeah.
good part of it. Yeah.
Were you on the set with the rushes, or was it everything was finished and then you came on board?
No, I was not on the set. I began as the shooting, the filming part was so long, but I began at the middle. I don't exactly remember. I've been working maybe 3 months or something on my own, but I was not on the set. I was and I guess like they were so busy, and so Coralie didn't really want to see anything during this the filming process, and a few things, but some sequences she had dubbed about them, but I only went twice, tried to meet Demi Moore, but she was not there each time I went. So.
Um, the workflow as an editor, whether it
Yeah,
was on this film or in general, can you talk about that a bit? Like in terms of, obviously, I mean, there's so many tools out there, Premiere, DaVinci,
yeah.
Avid, right? Which one did you use and what the workflow was like?
Okay, so most of the time for feature movie we use Avid Media Composer,
Hmm.
um, but as I said, like we began to work. I began to work with Coralie quite a long time ago on some series, and we used to work at this time on Final Cut Pro 7, and
Mm. I remember
after
that.
you remember that was pretty cool, and. And Coralie knew this one, and we did edit Revenge with Final Cut Pro 7. So every people say, "Oh no, you're crazy. We can't use this anymore. It's out of date or anything." But we manage, and after for the substance, so we went to another software which looks more similar to
Final
Final
Cut.
Cut Pro 7 for Coralie not to be too. So we went on Premiere Pro, and so that was pretty good. And the good things about Premiere Pro, and which looks a bit like Final Cut Pro, it's more intuitive than maybe Avid Media Composer. So for our kind of work, you can just click on something, move it, mute it, I don't know, put a sound, another one, another one.
Yeah.
So, and Coralie, when she edit, like put so much stuff, like she has maybe three music at the same time, lots of sound design. So it's like, but this software allow you to do lots of experiment. It was kind of experimental work. This post production. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So when was the last time you used Final Cut 7?
I think that was for Revenge, was it 2017.
You used Final Cut 7 in 2017. Wow.
Yeah, not that far away. But I saw that Parasite, the movie Parasite, was
Parasite, yeah.
edited also on Final Cut Pro 7. So, and it was, I think, at the same time, or I don't know, maybe before. But yeah, the software was not.
Well, you gotta render it, number one, right? And then the new machines don't even support that, so you have to use a slow
Yeah,
machine.
no, at the time it was still between, but we had an old machine, yeah, that's true. And but as you said, like that's why, the post-production company was not happy at all that we. But that was the one Coralie knew, and she didn't want to bother to. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was when it's kind of an efficient one, and. So that was
Yeah.
that's
I
over.
I used Final Cut 2 to 7.
Yeah,
Then when Final Cut 10 came
yeah,
out, I went to Premiere.
yeah. Okay.
And then after COVID, I still use Premiere here and there. Now it's DaVinci, and
Yeah,
and Avid. DaVinci is actually pretty good.
yeah. It looks. I tried, and it looks amazing. Yeah, you can do everything, and but um, in a way we didn't really have time to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah,
learning curve, right? So yeah,
yeah, and she doesn't want to bother to. So like, she's not really an editor, but she can really she's good editor, but she doesn't. Yeah, she just want to use the one she knows. And
amazing. Going back to your dad, you talked about that how he
yeah,
used to love cinema and he used to take you. Um, Two parts to this question. Part one, what was his? Has he ever told you that was it his dream to be in to work in films in some capacity? And then second, when he found out that you're going in that world, his reaction.
yeah. He never. I think. He loved cinema. He was not like in the Truffaut movie when he was young. He was not going to school to go to the theater and by himself or stuff like this. But he never tell me. He never said to me he wanted to work in the industry, and never told me like he was. But I'm sure that was his dream. And but like the one really nice moment we had together, like maybe 2 or 3 months, I don't know, a few months ago. Now he became president of a audience association in Le Méliès, which is the biggest theater, public theater in France. I think one of the biggest. And
Wow.
for the release of for the premiere of The Substance, so we had a chat together in front of the audience, and I was able to thank my dad for that I was able to be here tonight and to it was
Oh,
the chance to work on The Substance, and because of him and everything. So that was really a cute and nice moment, and we have this kind of connection.
That's incredible. That's really nice to hear. Thanks for sharing
Yeah.
that. I appreciate that. In terms of the substance, now the film was
Mm,
premiered at Cannes, right?
yeah.
Um, before it got to Cannes, before it was shown at Cannes,
Mm.
did you guys feel that you have something special?
What happened is me when I at the beginning I thought there was something special because the actress for me was amazing. Everything, the filming, the shot,
Production
to
design.
yeah, production design. For me, it's obvious that this movie is going to be crazy, but it was really long to edit, and little by little, the producer uh, kind of at the beginning they did enjoy the movie as well, and I don't know what happened, and little by little they started to say, oh, it's too long, very too long, it's too much, it's too something, too something. And so it started to have kind of not fight, but like it looked like they didn't have the same view of the on the movie than us. And so I don't know if you know the story, but at the beginning it was Universal Studio
Oh,
yeah, who put the money, and through a working title, the production company in London.
yep,
So and little and Coralie, and she's I think she speak about this somewhere, but she went to show the movie at Universal Studio in LA, and they did I don't know they didn't like the movie. They said, no, I don't know why. It was maybe this time still a bit too long, but they said it's a bit too much. And little by little, they wanted to change a little bit the movie, to make it a bit more for a bigger audience, for a large audience. I don't know. But Coralie, like, was really strong in her mind. Say, no, that's the movie. She spent 5 years to write the script, uh, to go there, and she didn't want to at the end, like. So I don't know, and the luck we had is uh, Thierry Frémaux at Cannes Film Festival that took the movie in competition, official competition. And at this point, just before, Universal Studio tried to sell the movie to some other, to Studio Canal, and they didn't, I don't know what happened. But when we were in selection at Cannes Film Festival, Mubi came, they bought the movie before we had the prize, the award for best script, and after the movie went on with Mubi. But it was really a crazy story, and it was really a matter of luck, maybe, or matter of Cannes Film Festival, or I don't know what. But we were really close that because the movie didn't have the same life and the same recognition. I don't know. So it was really a crazy story. So that's why now we are so happy about it, and it's the revenge for Coralie is there.
I was supposed to see. I live in Toronto, so I was supposed to
Okay,
see. I was at TIFF, and
okay.
I had the pass for it, and I
Midnight Madness. It was the Midnight
yeah,
Madness.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think because it was Midnight Madness, because
yeah.
that day I had seen four films, and
Okay.
I was so tired. I'm like, I don't think
Yeah,
I'll
I
probably fall
understand.
asleep in the movie theater. But but it's so I'm glad you shared that story. So in terms of the longer cut, right? The director's cut, if that's what it was.
Yeah,
Is there some couple of scenes that are able to talk about
yeah.
that were taken out that were very
Mm.
good as a scene and added to the story, but obviously you had to make the film tighter?
There was the agent character. So at the beginning, but it it didn't add so much stuff. So, but at the beginning, after after Denis Quaid eat his shrimps and and fire her,
Yeah.
she went to she was supposed to go to see her agent, and her agent was kind of say, ah, sorry about it, but I think we don't have any more work for you. So it was a bit, it was not, was not bad, but it was a bit the same story we had before. And after, later on, when it was through a big success and everything, so you have like three agents who come to see her, say, "Oh, you're so amazing! We want to work with you." So you have the two part of the, but and maybe few, but not that much. Coralie wanted to keep more or less everything, so we managed to, as I said, to make it more tight and cut and make it shorter. But apart from this, there is not that much things went.
Nothing valuable.
And I don't think so.
Yeah. Um, in your view, well, see, the thing is, I don't remember when Demi Moore came into a film last time. I think she probably did, but it wasn't anything major.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, it's she her perf I mean she is the main character. Her character is the main character, but she's not the main actress. I mean, it's her and I forget the other lady's name.
Margaret Collet, Sue,
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Sue.
Yeah, they both were remarkable. They both had
Yeah,
good
yeah,
chemistry and animosity. I wonder because Demi Moore she won the Golden Globe and she
yeah,
cried that how she said that it took me 45 years to win an award,
yeah,
right? And I wonder if it was somebody else in that character, probably who didn't have that same arc in their life
mm,
about the
mm,
ups and
mm.
downs and being forgotten, if it would have been any different. Because I think that it came from inside, because she was going through, she probably went through that in her career.
Yeah, totally true. I don't think it was Coralie first choice, but
Mm,
when the studio proposed Demi Moore and talk about this, I think, and later on when I knew about it, to me it was obvious that it was like as you said, it's a bit her story. You know, it's a little bit. So for sure, she will be. She will feel the story. She will play and feel the thing,
yeah,
and and also when you listen to her talking about the movie, talking about. She talks so well about it. You know, she really. So you can understand like the movie touched some part of herself. You know, some was so there is a true connection between her and the movie and the story.
yeah. And to me, I mean, there were some
Yeah,
such amazing, great moments, but one character, I forget the character's name, her high school friend or university friend.
yeah.
I thought that was beautifully done because it's like an outsider, which is
Yeah,
the audience,
yeah.
connecting to her. And then when he called her or she
Yeah,
called him, and he goes in state of shock twice, right?
yeah, that's what.
I really thought that was so brilliantly well executed because, here she is trying to someone who is superstar
Yeah,
talking to an ordinary person who she's forgotten
yeah,
and now she needs him and he's
yeah,
in
that's
state of
true.
shock. Yeah, I just thought it was so beautifully done. It was very well
Yeah,
crafted.
yeah, you're true because at the beginning you said, yeah, as you said, he said like, "Oh, you're so famous," and after like, yeah, as you say, it's a good, yeah, it's a resume of the movie. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Just to kind of go back
yeah,
as we wrap things up in terms of the workflow, what was your team like? How big was your team and what was
uh,
like, is it like an assistant editor kind of going through and logging stuff and taking notes, figuring out the best takes? Like just talk to
mm,
me about the technical
okay.
aspect of it.
As so at the beginning we had my assistant Jimmy Zhao was really efficient because we had to deal with English people, American people, French. So it was really not an international production and lots
Mm,
of people everywhere. So we had to make sure. that okay, everything understands the workflow and it's okay. So after that was set up, uh, I started to work on my own after Coralie came. So what happened is, as I said, as she edit herself, so we have she has her own edit room. I have my own one, and the assistant had his own one as well. But and we were supposed to have a great sound designer like Nicola Baker, great people for lots of things. But in fact, uh, we understood that it's going to be very long to edit. Like it took us maybe more than 1 year, and it took us like 2 years, but 1 year in a row, I would say. So little by little, some people who were supposed to work with us were not available anymore. But the some team, after some teams, stay with us. But so it was really so. After we did not need any more assistant because we were just working on our own. So it was kind of like every day together, each one in his editing room, like spending 10 years trying to find, and maybe for the Walk of Fame, I have 180 different versions of the same sequence, and after we had another editor who came to help us, Valentin Ferron, because after a while you need someone who was more back, you can see from a larger perspective. So so it was kind of really experimental, and the movie was ready like one day before the premiere of Cannes, and the mixing studio were not available anymore, so we have to do the mixing in Corsica, the small
Mm.
island part of France. So it was a bit a crazy journey, I would say. and But the main thing is like Coralie wanted to keep this rock and roll attitude and keep the movie as she had in her mind. And I think she the goal is here, and yeah,
Yeah, I'm just gonna check
yeah,
how many Oscar nominations it has.
five,
It has
five, I think.
five. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Aside from you wanting it to win, obviously all of them, um, do you what do you feel that it's gonna happen? Like, do you think it's
To
gonna
me,
walk?
yeah, to me, maybe she's going to get the director's one.
Mm,
Uh, and maybe Demi Moore is going to get one for as the best actress, and maybe the makeup, because the two other one as a best film. I don't think that for this kind of film could win a best film.
yeah,
Yeah, but why not? Huh? But not sure about it. And best script, well, she already win it in Cannes. So, but and also I don't know, but she's the only woman, in the selection. So if there is no, I mean, it's not.
yeah.
But uh, but I think she deserves the best director, best because she did such an amazing work on this movie about this. So yeah, I think she deserves it.
I
And to me, Demi also deserves or something.
Yeah. But I'm very surprised that it wasn't nominated for production design and sound design because
Yeah,
those were two key elements, and even cinematography, I would say, and like
editing.
everything, editing, right? Like it was just,
Yeah,
it's a picture that the reason it's a best picture because everything worked.
yeah,
So I'm really surprised that it kind of missed out on those four categories. But sometimes the Academy Awards are not really. Yeah, it's sometimes it gets goes in it becomes political but that's a different
yeah,
discussion
yeah.
altogether.
I guess, and yeah, a bit sad about it, but still very happy about it to have five nomination, even if it's not editing or sound or everything. Still, it's a great
Yeah,
achievement for the movie and for the crew.
100%.
Yeah.
Has your career trajectory changed a little bit? Are you getting more offers for different work that you
Not
didn't?
yet, but I hope so.
Okay,
not
okay.
not yet.
I hope so too. I think. I think after the Oscars you will, because
Mm,
I truly feel, again, I mean, Requiem for a Dream, The Shining, all those
yeah,
amazing films, and but this one, even though it borrows the inspirations from it, it still has its own
yeah.
voice, and that's what makes it so unique. And you must be really, you must be, and if not, you should be really, really proud of it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And yeah, no, this has been great. I would love to chat with you again in the near future, hopefully,
Okay.
and maybe we can do this again. Thank you so much, Jerome, for
Okay.
your
Thank you.
time.
It was
Thank you
a
for
very
making the film.
nice chat. Okay.
Take
Okay.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.